that price, you can buy 10 books. So why the need for the Kindle when you can buy 10 books and you can read for a year? Also, the printed book has a book-like feeling. As some people, some person that I know, like a lot of them, prefer the book-like feeling, the feeling of turning the pages compared to pressing the button. And the books still have some feeling for people, and that's why not a lot of people like the new feeling that they feel in the e-readers. And the book I found very convenient because I buy printed book most of the time on Amazon. Simply, it can be resold at a much cheaper price. At a cheaper price, but at least I get the book at a much cheaper price. So the book can be lent, can be borrowed, or can be resold. Why the ebook? You cannot do it because it is DRM. The print book is durable. Why I say so? You can drop the book, you can pour water in the book, it's still readable. But with the Kindle, it broke. And why the Kindle has long battery, has very convenient and easy software, but the print book doesn't need for battery, software, or any update at all, so it's easy to use. So this figure, we see that the adoption rate of e-readers in different countries. So even though that about 7% of the US population own an e-readers, as much as 35% person in Germany haven't heard of the term e-reader yet. So the product adoption rate in countries have varies, and one of the contribution factor is not most of the ebook are available in different language rather than English. So that's why US and UK are leading in the adoption rate in the e-reader. So next slide, we discuss about the future of publishing. Despite the rapid growth of ebook, the sales of the traditional books still grow at a steady rate. And we know that consumers spend 1.8 billion buying books in 2009 alone. And the book production grew 1,000% during the period of 2002 to 2010. And also the US print output still increased by 5% in 2010, except even though that year marked the dramatically reduced price for e-readers. So let's see that we can consider the books to be the anti-fragile method, because it has withstood the effect of TV, personal computer, and the internet, so it still remains popular in the either area. It's like now we mostly buy the book in the MP3 in iTunes store, but we can still buy the newly released CD on Amazon. Next, I offer some recommendation for Amazon to try in the next era. The first offer, as a college student, I would say that Amazon should jump into the textbook market, and it's doing it right now. Because as a student, I found that book is very heavyweight, and a book can weigh up to 2 pounds. And also, the Kindle doesn't have like the color, so it cannot display all textbook correctly. And also, the screen is pretty small. If it's not a Kindle file, you cannot display the textbook correctly. So Amazon needs to address this. And as we know that the young reader are amongst the demographic that have a high adoption rate for e-readers. So Amazon really have to focus on this. The second would be the strategy versus Apple. And this is interesting because why Amazon is offering its global strategy, it doesn't offer Kindle Fire to be sold globally. And the Kindle Fires can only be sold in the US market. And that's why an Apple product are sold globally. So the iPad is still having the highest market share of tablet in worldwide compared to Amazon. And with the iPad mini release, Amazon need to think seriously about how to compete with Apple with the newly introduced device. The next will be book in multiple language. As a two figure we see before, we see that the reason for low adoption rate is probably the book are not available in different language. If we can increase the book available in different language in the Amazon Kindle store, we probably have more buyers in Germany and Netherlands heard more about the term e-readers, and they probably buy more Amazon products and e-readers. And next, I talk about the color e-ink Kindle. This is important because we know that most of the textbooks now are colored, and a lot of the books like comic, manga, and so forth use color. So a color e-ink is important, as we know that now e-ink can only show the non-color one, black and white version. So Amazon needs to think a strategy to offer the color e-ink to its customers before of the Nook and Sony readers, because it needs to be the first mover in this market. And also Amazon needs to improve its retail channel. Why? Because Amazon products are sold mostly online. As we know, the Kindle it have very prominent features, but a lot of customers don't want to buy the product until they see the product, they touch and they feel it. So that's why now Barnes & Noble are processing this strategy to offer Nook in all store. Why Amazon lose Target and Walmart as a retailers? Because they fear that, they just fear that Amazon, they fear the idea of the customer come to the store to touch, to feel the product before they go to Amazon and buy the product to avoid the sales tax and enjoy lower price. So the idea of showrooming threatening Amazon, Walmart and Target's business. So they drop the Kindle line. So Amazon needs to rethink of this strategy and expand its retail business. In conclusion, so follow my thesis. I see that ebooks and e-readers are becoming a major force of influence in the book publishing industry. We cannot deny that because ebooks are the rating star. As the nearest estimation, the ebook is having 25% of books sold in the US. So with the new Kindle, Amazon has all the criteria needed to be competitive in the e-reader world. It's the market mover, and also with the Kindle, it's the cheapest device, and it has a very high bargaining power. So the Kindle provides value to customer, and we cannot deny that Kindle will also benefit author and publisher in numbers of ways. It increases the author's revenue and profit by offering KDP, and benefit publishers by offering more books to sell online, so more people can afford to buy the ebook instead of paying for the book, which is more expensive. However, the publishers still get more profit because the ebook are relatively cheaper to produce than printed book. So with all of the above, the Kindle has changed and is changing the publishing industry, and it have a very prominent future if it's processing strategy. And Amazon has made the right move for Kindle. So it's going to be the end of my slideshow, but I'll accept all questions and recommendations and advice from the product community. And all the questions, I try to explain it to you. So thank you for listening.
Well, I'm still thinking, have a great question.
I feel like you folks like, you know,
I mean,
many
I've known, I
people,
mean,
so-
you answered almost everything we gave you, so that's good. You know, so we went through 2 rounds, so we had all the
2 rounds
questions
already.
with him already.
Yeah.
He has answered all the questions.
Right, we